Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've tried so many of these. Too many probably. But this one stands out. It caught me off guard. Let's figure out why together. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details. Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer finds that while this monitor is often praised online for its superb picture quality and excellent design, the real story is in the details of its connectivity. Our reviewer was initially thrilled with the display's performance, connecting a multitude of devices from Mac and PC desktops to laptops. However, a significant learning curve emerged when trying to utilize all the available ports. The main point of confusion was the second DisplayPort connection. It turns out this is not a traditional input, but an output designed for daisy-chaining a second monitor, a feature that was not clearly labeled. This discovery came after some frustrating troubleshooting and a helpful tip from the manufacturer's online community forum. This led to a deeper dive into video cable limitations. Our reviewer learned that most common adapter cables are one-directional, meaning you can't simply use a cable to connect an HDMI source, like a game console, to one of this monitor's DisplayPort inputs. This effectively limits the use of several ports for anyone with primarily HDMI-based devices. For Mac users, there were also some quirks. An older Mac computer would only output at a lower refresh rate over HDMI and refuse to use its mini DisplayPort as the primary video out, though a newer laptop worked perfectly. This highlights the need for potential buyers, especially those in the Apple ecosystem, to research their specific hardware's capabilities. Despite these initial setup hurdles, the payoff has been immense. The primary goal was to enhance productivity in professional audio and video applications, and this ultra-wide screen delivered spectacularly. The ability to have multiple full-size windows open simultaneously has been a game-changer. Even for casual gaming with older hardware, the experience is immersive and smooth. Ultimately, this client feels the monitor is an exceptional tool that, once you navigate its connectivity nuances.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer, a photographer who requires true color accuracy and the ability to work with straight perspectives, was looking for a single large curved display to replace an older setup. After considerable research, they settled on this monitor, but the initial experience was not the amazing one others had described. Upon first use, the screen felt underwhelming. While large and easy to set up, it seemed dim and had low contrast, with whites and blacks appearing muted. Reluctant to alter the factory calibration, our reviewer eventually explored the built-in presets to improve the image. They discovered that only the gaming mode setting provided the boost in dynamic contrast needed to achieve a true white and a satisfying picture. After this adjustment, the client found the view to be outstanding and was finally pleased with the visual quality. They also confirmed there were no issues with light bleed or dead pixels, which was a welcome relief. The only remaining question was how the screen's curve would handle architectural work that demands perfectly straight vertical lines. While the product itself eventually earned its keep, the process of acquiring it directly from the manufacturer was a completely different story. This client experienced significant shipping delays with no proactive communication from the company. After being promised expedited delivery, they had to call in to learn of a parts problem. An attempt to cancel the order was seemingly ignored, as a shipping notification arrived days later. To make matters worse, customer service was difficult to communicate with and offered a complicated process for a price adjustment after the item dropped in price. Frustrated, the reviewer ultimately ordered the same monitor from another major online retailer and received it within 2 days, concluding that shoppers should avoid purchasing directly from the brand.
Awesome. Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer is coming from a pretty basic monitor setup, so take that into account. My old screen finally died and I needed a replacement. I did some in-person comparison shopping, but the store didn't have the specific model of this display that I was interested in to look at. I briefly considered a curved screen from another brand, but the resolution just wasn't good enough on such a large size. The super high-end gaming options were out of my budget, and I didn't really need the extra features for my limited gaming. This monitor seemed like the best balance of features and price for my needs. I mainly use this monitor for schoolwork, programming, reading, and some very casual gaming. For those uses, it's almost perfect. The ultra-wide aspect ratio and the curve were easy to get used to. I was comfortable with them within an hour. The menu system is intuitive, and the settings are actually useful, unlike some monitors I've used in the past. It's now my primary display for my main computer, and it also extends my wife's older iMac. The height of this display is almost identical to her iMac screen, so they look really nice sitting next to each other, which is great. The adjustable height of the monitor really helps with that. The only real issue I have is the backlight blade, which is mostly in the bottom left corner. It's not too severe, and I've noticed that applying a bit of pressure to the corner of the plastic bezel makes it disappear temporarily, so I might explore some common fixes to reduce it. I also ran into a problem trying to get the USB hub on the display to work correctly with my computer, but I'm not sure if that's the monitor's fault. I'm using an older motherboard with a specific USB controller, and when connected to the monitor, my wireless mouse and keyboard would constantly disconnect and reconnect. I tried several suggested fixes, but none worked permanently. For now, I've connected the monitor to a USB 2 port on my computer, and that works perfectly. It's not ideal, but it doesn't really bother me. I've ordered an extra USB cable to connect it to my wife's iMac, which only supports USB 2 anyway, so I'm not losing anything there. I'm also hoping to use the monitor's USB hub to switch peripherals between computers, but I need to test that further. Overall, I'm very impressed with this display. It provides a great combination of features, quality, and a certain wow factor.
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.